Good night, everybody. No, good evening, everybody. This is the USTSA board meeting for what the heck is it? July 12th. I'm Keith Rodney. There's a bunch of the rest of the board down here. But really just to kind of get right to the point of this call is just for kind of a quick transition. Normally after a new board meets, in the past, we've either gone out to dinner or something, like just kind of did a quick chat with old new, and then everybody went their way from there. I just kind of wanted to start the ball rolling with this new board so we can start meeting fairly regularly. I'm kind of aiming for like 30 minutes. Just something real quick, just to touch base and kind of give us a direction to aim for this coming winter. Let's see. Jason was supposed to send me numbers. We didn't get any numbers, but so that's out. What I do know currently is we have about 10 athletes and members who have submitted their paperwork and done their stuff. There's more to come. I suspect we'll get probably about 75% of the 42 people we sent stuff out to. I do know there has been, so Steve Weglar has backed out of a team position, but not participation. He wants to spend some time with really working with Mia. So he's going to try to jump into more of a coaching role. So that means judging and other fun stuff like that is in his future. He doesn't know that yet. Owen Woods, he is out because he's switched to some other more exciting, he's exploring the music side of things. So I have a feeling while he's exploring that, he'll go down that rabbit hole and we'll suck him back in the future.
I was going to say, I saw that Lisa paid for competitive membership last month for Owen. So
yes.
It can't be that too far gone.
No, definitely not. He wants to play. He doesn't know what time it is, the time he's doing. He's thinking very light
Sweet
membership. And you know what? It's great. That's the point of that Masters membership anyways. So I'm excited there. I believe Jeff, am I right? Are you switching over to Masters?
Yep. Playing the old man card, kind of, sort of.
Masters does not mean equal citizens. I know I've made that point before, but.
But it is.
Okay, we'll see what I register for.
I mean, I make the start list. Can't flip anything by me. Don't be ridiculous.
But what I really like is, and this is for Farley and Jeff, Jeff Grady. The nice thing about the Masters is somebody like Jeff doesn't have to be forced into an upper level team position. He can, be very light. The benefit of the Masters team is technically, if you don't want to race, you just need to participate in one event somewhere related to telemark, even if it's not a race. But I know Jeff's going to do some racing. The bug's still there. He just doesn't want to do it full time for free.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much time I have. That's just like Owen, I'm not sure how much time commitment I'll have. And I've got some other priorities creeping up in my life. So I want to give the things that I need to the time they deserve. But yeah, I'm not gone by any means. You guys hold an event in the West, I'll probably show up, whether you want me to or not.
There you go. Ken, you'll like this. Jeff, those responsibilities, those are called life.
Shocker. I know.
I know one of the things we're doing is Tabby started the work, continuing the work that Jeff and I are starting to do. So for the longest time, we were using a program called Constant Contact. And so what that is, it's a platform for us to do more than just receive money on. The problem is it's super expensive. And so we're in the process of researching. Tabby, what do you think? Will you take over that thought?
Yeah, the one of the things that I've been looking at may have a complete cost of 0 at this point, considering the numbers that we'll be pushing through that marketing program. We'll be able to tie that in and do a couple of different things. It's a program called Begin. It's part of the Zoho suite. And Zoho is one of the biggest international competitors to Google as far as suite of applications and things like that. I've been using them for a bunch of different things. They also have a different CRM program and a marketing program, a couple of different things. But either way, the pricing is at our level, nothing too very low. So I think we'll be able to certainly save a considerable amount of money, start building back our marketing data of not only who is on the team, what positions they've chosen, they've accepted, but also who we're mailing to via email. Do you want to be on our mailing list? Do we want to do something? So we'll be able to gather all of that together in one place and manage everything from team members to casual contacts for, again, little to nothing. Which is a lot better than what, 700 a year or whatever Constant Contact was costing us.
Yeah, it was a pretty big number. More than that, it was when I spent about a half hour on the phone talking to them. And so when we started using Constant Contact, what did Linda say? 84. So in the early 80s, there weren't a lot of choices. And so, through loyalty, we stayed with them for a long time. But one of the things that Constant Contact didn't do a great job at is keeping track of our members, not just the athletes, but the members themselves. And so we don't really have an extensive member list with email addresses we can reach out to like we used to. And so between Sarah and I, Tabby and Jason, we're going to try to rebuild that or resurrect it, if you will, and start. Because if we can get a program that helps us send them contact fairly regularly, it's much easier for them to do it. The other thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to keep Devin sucked in some fashion so we can keep Expert Voice going. It's it's at least a little something we can do as a member, since unless you're in the medical, police, or military zone, you basically have to be in a recreational job to be able to get onto Expert Voice, which has there are about 600 companies involved with that. But so I'm going to try to see if I can keep Devin sucked in by helping us with that. If not, maybe he can trade it over to one of us to keep managing that. Because what we have to do is resubmit a list every year. And our challenge is, so what they like, Expert Voice likes, is they like to have the biggest list possible. But what's nice about Expert Voice is when you give them a list of emails, they do not email anyone on the list. What they do is, in order for you to use their stuff, you have to do some marketing. You have to go through a little education for what was it? Cabela's. If you want to access Cabela's through their site, our Carhartt through their site, what you have to do is you have to go through a little learning thing. And in that learning thing is some ads. And that's where they get their marketing dollars. So rather than selling and buying email lists, they do it through you accessing their website. So that's nice. There's no threat there. My big thing is I was going to see if Jeff or Farley had any thoughts, questions that they'd like to kind of ask, and that was kind of it.
I think I'm pretty excited. In terms of events, I know like we kind of want to plan at least one event for the season, right, in our region. I have kind of a cool idea. I'll share with you guys because I have to pop out. I'm running sound at a show in town, and like, I'm glad I get to share this with you. I know the US Telemark team. You know, we primarily try to race down hills, you know, and mountain slopes, right? We try to use gravity for speed. In Colorado Springs, I live in Colorado Springs, and we, you know, we're about 2 hours from the nearest mountain, Breckenridge or Monarch. And I just have a fun idea. It might be a little crazy, but it's super different. And I don't think I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now. And it's really fun. And it's a very old school sport, just like telemark. And basically what I'm getting at is in Colorado Springs, we don't have mountains. We have cowboys and cowgirls with ranches and I'm serious, we got big open plains. And I have good friends up in Black Forest, which is kind of a ranch community. And my good friend Emily, she runs a horse team called the Colorado Top Hands. And it's a young group of girls. It's about 12 to 15 young ladies that are badass. They're professional competitive barrel racers. I don't know if you guys know what barrel racing is. It's like, you know, when you're tearing around barrels on a horse. These girls are like stunt riders. You know, they do stunts. They do rodeos. You know, they're hardcore. Basically, I've been riding a lot of horses. I've been doing some cowboying of my own up on the ranch. And in the winter, I've been like, Emily, like, let's tie a rope to this horse, and like, why don't you pull me around the ranch on my tellies, and we'll do some ski juring. So I've been ski juring for like about 1.5 years for fun. And if you guys have ever looked into the Leadville races, if you look in the fine print, they do not allow telemark. You have to be on alpine gear. So it seems like the micro niche of ski juring doesn't even accept the micro niche of telemark. So my thought, like I said, I worked at Loveland for a number of seasons, and like I have friends in the race department. I can definitely contact them, but we have a ranch. So we have a friend, Shauna, who's got a ranch outside of Colorado Springs with a huge outdoor arena that's full of snow in the winter. And we have like a team of like 15 cowgirls. So basically, here, can I share my screen with you guys? Is that possible?
Yes.
Can you give me
Go
that?
for it. You should be all set to do it.
I do it here. Share screen. I made a little poster, but we have like a space. We have Colorado Springs is a cool town, and it'd be fun to kind of get to, like, you know, you guys can come to the Springs. There's a new ski bar that we could have like a pre-registration, like Friday night kind of party.
I like that.
Yeah. How do I think someone's got to give me like access, like admin quick, so I can share my screen.
Go for it.
Keith, if you go down to the bottom.
I made a poster. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should be able to do it by going right to the bottom. Where you see the mute, it should be.
Oh, share screen. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think this is it.
We'll know in a minute.
Oh, okay, 1 second. But yeah, I've been talking to my friend, my two good friends that kind of run the team, and they're like, yeah, that'd be fun, because they're looking for events in the wintertime. Because obviously they kind of do their thing in the winter. Okay, or sorry, in the summer. Oh, I gotta quit and reopen. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Ken, I don't think Steamboat does any ski joring, do they?
None at all. Never seen that happen down the main street.
I just have this new thought of going over the handlebars will add new and interesting meaning as to where you go once you go over the handlebars.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my poster.
Oh,
Yes.
Ken, and you're on mute, Ken.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so this is just like a little retro poster I whipped up quick. But
Hey, Jeff, I got
yeah.
something for you to do.
Oh,
What do you mean?
Okay, I
Oh,
want to do that.
that's what I'm saying, you guys. It's really different. It's really fun, and you don't have to. It's not. I don't think it's going to be terribly dangerous. We're gonna build the course. We're gonna set the race course. You know, we're not gonna have it be too crazy. And I think it'd be fun Friday if people came out Friday. We'd actually do a trail ride where you'd meet a cowgirl and we'd rope you up, and then we all go ride like out in the like the plains, kind of it's going to be pretty beautiful. But just to get a feel for it, if you guys have ever been water skiing, it's water skiing is like 20 times crazier than getting pulled behind a horse. It's not that wild, but I think if we involve a little competition, it could be cool. But really, there's no, like I said, there's no ski touring. You could not go do any kind of ski touring as a telemarker right now in Colorado. So why don't we throw our own event, and we'll call it the first annual Ski Touring Invitational. It's kind of like the ski what you got, like if you guys ever done bike racing, we're not going to discriminate what your bindings are. But it'd be fun. And then what trophies are, what kind of trophies you do for ski touring, right? When there's cowboys involved. We're making belt buckles.
Can I be my own buckle bunny?
oh God.
You got to win the buckle first. Yeah, but you might be the women's buckle bunny. But yeah, we'll make belt buckles, and it could be fun. It might be, yeah, I don't know. It could be fun. We already got a couple people that want to come out and do it. So, at least it would be a good time to come out and, see each other and get our adrenaline on. We could definitely maybe we plan like Sunday to go up to Breckenridge or something, and actually go like ski. But I think maybe we could race on Saturday or Friday. I don't know. But
It's
the cowgirls are the game.
it's a little more up to the location. So one of the things we need to think about this, I'd like to say this is the first time I've heard of an event like this, but it's really not. So parts that you guys don't know. So my mom's a horse trainer, and so I grew up on a horse farm. I didn't really ride much, but my mom still ski jores, but she uses an inner tube since she's in her late 70s.
Invite her out, Keith.
She might come. But one of the things we'd need to explore is how would we deal with insurance? Because it's the challenge when you're with live animals is there's a secondary insurance to come into play.
Right.
And so it's not so stressful for us, but the farm or the location we're on, we just need to talk to them.
Right.
Because they would need to carry the primary insurance since
They do. Yeah. So Emily has said that Shauna, she has events, she has group rides, she has organizations come out all the time and get on the horses. And so, and she hosts races. She has the laser timing systems. So she's got the whole kind of events, high risk, letting people onto my ranch and ride my horses. She's got all that insurance, but we can definitely talk to her more about the details.
Yeah, because what you're getting is you're basically attaching somebody to a tether on the back of the horse. This is for the other people in the group. You're attaching somebody to a tether to a back of a horse where if something goes wrong, it's extremely rare, but typically if a horse loses it, it can drag you for wherever. And there's not much you have control. And it's not hugely dangerous for a human, but it could be hugely dangerous for the horse.
Yeah,
we
I've
don't
never
have.
done the tether. I usually just hold on, and you can let go, if the horse starts getting kind of spooky, you got to let go and, make some space. But I think if we had if we had like an orientation day Friday to kind of get comfortable, you know, like moving, because really what's unique with the event too, this event, it's not about individual speed. It's not about, how fast you are as an individual. You're really going to be with a team. It's going to be a cowgirl and a horse and the three of you. It's kind of like more of a team thing, so you kind of.
Oh, there's a rider.
So
Yeah.
mounted,
Yeah.
Okay, that changes.
because there's mounted and unmounted, so.
Oh, this is definitely mounted. So the cowgirls ride.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then I do it where you just hold on to the rope and you can let go of the rope and ski out. I've never done the tethering, if
Well, I have.
that sounds scary.
Oh, it totally is. So not only are you guiding yourself with your feet, in this case, I was doing a toboggan, but you're also using the reins to aim.
Sure. Kind of like in the photo. Yeah.
Oh, very much like the photo.
But no, this would be mounted. Yeah. Be a whole team.
I think if anybody disagrees, I think it's worth at least starting the exploration of the concept. Here's the only deal. So if you go down there, we need to have a picture of you looking like you're at least trying it. If you try it, even
I
better.
can support this too. I'll go down just to see that.
So let me tell you a little story. In Steamboat at the Winter Carnival, we do ski joring. You can participate on anything that slides on snow.
Oh, sweet.
And but they have another event that a good friend of mine, Roger Carricone, that just retired from the ski area as the director of the race department up there. His wife, 2 years ago, Nancy must have been, I don't know, 66 or 67. She blew out her knee riding a shovel because they tie scoop shovels on the handle behind the horse, and you sit on the scoop shovel. You put your feet up on the rope, and she blew out her knee riding the
Put his
scoop.
foot down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we do a lot of that kind of crazy stuff up here too.
Totally.
Boy, it makes jack jumping sound safe.
Well, you're not attached to a horse.
True.
So
Well,
what I would suggest, though, as you explore the concept, Jeff, I would, the more we open it up, okay, telemark would be the primary in my book, but there's no reason if everyone's okay with it, maybe keep the shovel out. That's just an inner tube, but why not?
I'm not suggesting that we try to use shovels. I was just kind of expanding on the entertainment component
done
of
it
this
on
conversation.
I did it standing on a shovel is not a good thing.
No.
But we could keep it, so alpine, tele, and snowboard.
Yeah, that's the whole invitational idea. It's kind of like, let's invite everybody out and just see how it goes. But I have friends, we can bring grills out. I have sound systems here at the conservatory. It's kind of DIY, right? But we don't have to pay. There's other ranches that we could pay like $500 and have a whole like a whole restaurant and set like announcers, but we can do it ourselves and I think, be pretty successful. And then we have a little more control, and we can keep it low budget and all that.
Right. I would also maybe encourage looking to do this in addition to a race, like have this be the fun reason why people fly out. Cause we are looking at the majority of athletes being on the East Coast. So you are asking them to fly out for this, super fun. And I personally have the flexibility to do that, but not everybody does, both in time and in money.
Neat.
And for kids in school, right, Keith? You're not in school, but you have a job and 2 jobs or 3 jobs in the winter. And so doing this in addition to a race on a Sunday or something would be the extra bonus of you're coming out, we're racing, but then also we have this scheduled time to hang out together. Instead of just trying to do this as a standalone event. Might pull in a few more at least of our athletes to try to get it on their schedule.
What's closest to where that is? I mean, is it
Monarch.
Breckenridge or is it Mary Jane or
No,
Monarch?
no. Monarch.
Ooh,
Gonna be Monarch. Monarch's
Monarch.
probably the closest, and then second is Breckenridge.
Yeah,
Monarch
Breckenridge
is very
like,
cool.
yeah,
I know
Monarch,
the
Could we-
school
Monarch's
director
vibe.
that-
Monarch's
know
Can
the-
we get a
Ski
race
school-
at Monarch?
sure. Yeah,
That's a
I
neat
keep-
place.
I see Monarch a lot. Yeah.
Monarch doesn't have any hills that's homologated, so we'd have to do an exception to the rules, but just kind of FYI, keep in
Yeah.
mind.
But
And
Well,
we're,
they don't have any air either.
Oh, they're about the same altitude as most everything else in Colorado.
Tall.
maybe higher. If I'm right, isn't the bottom of Monarch at 10,000?
Hmm,
It's not as
That's-
high as some of them, but it's up
I
there.
don't know.
Somewhere there. I know the pass is over 10. But
But I
um,
think Sarah's idea of getting kind of like doing a ski joring event and then kind of buttressing one side or the other, either a camp or some racing or maybe both, I think could be really, really valuable. And then you can kind of drag the people, have people come in for the ski joring and then also see this racing thing too.
Yeah.
I think both could be super awesome.
you know, the idea, because one of the challenges is if as far as I've heard, I don't believe Monarch has any safety gear. No fencing, has none of that stuff. I know their big tourism draw is the cat skiing still. But it could be an interesting place for a camp.
Even a camp, they don't have gates, they don't have anything to support a camp,
No, but I could get that stuff from Crested Butte. Some.
I even wonder if there's like a camp situation that you don't have to have racing. Like I've done like skills quest stuff
Yep.
at places. So
Yep.
you can do it without equipment maybe, but it's just an idea.
We're still on the exploratory phase here. We're going to try not to do what we did at Targhee, where we brought everything. Oh, and Suicide 6, which I still have all of that stuff. I'm not driving out to Colorado with it all.
Here's another dumb idea is that you've got Monarch, which Jeff, you probably know better than I do. I'm guessing it's about what, 2 hours away or so?
Yeah, it's about like 2 hours. Same with Breck, 2.5,
Yeah.
2 hours.
So Eldora is also going to be about in that 2 hour ballpark. If you just want to keep it front range,
Uh-huh.
you got that relationship. They have the homologation. They've got the equipment. I'm picturing Matt Tomasco being pulled behind a horse and a giant eaten grin on his face. I don't know if you can see that, Dad, but
ski joring, you need a meadow or a street, you need a flat area.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just thinking like Eldora is within proximity in that 2 hour range
Yeah.
of Colorado Springs.
Right.
Loveland, I have connections at the Loveland race department, people I used to work with that now kind of run that. So, and Loveland has that whole Chair 7 it's a whole separate space for racing. That could be worth it. And that's like 45 minutes from DIA. So that's really accessible as well. But yeah,
Jeff, who you working with at Loveland? You working with Ken Brenner?
no, Dan Houston, the ski school director. Do you know Dan Houston?
Yeah, well, no, I know all the guys in the race department, not in the ski school.
Oh,
But
it's
the whole
like some
race
of the younger guys that like I used to instruct with, and now they're kind of in the race department.
The whole race department got turned over this year. There's only 4 people there that are going to be there next
wow.
year that's been there in the past. So
Okay.
that's why I thought I'd check with you to see who you knew, because Brenner and the whole team and they've moved on. They have a new board of directors up there, and there's quite a bit of turmoil, unfortunately, up there right now.
Too bad.
But to your point, we've got an in and all of those areas. When we get in the race departments, we can get on those hills.
Yeah.
But we've got the strongest relationship with Eldora, and we can get it all for free up there. The other
Sweet.
ones I can get you in on any of them. The costs are going to vary. Another place I can get you on probably for free is going to be at Ski Cooper up by Leadville too.
Sure. Yeah, I think Eldora is really accessible, and it's a good, and our athletes, have been there, and
Yeah.
that could be sweet.
Although the one thing that Ski Cooper gives us is a future build of contact.
Yep.
But we have plenty of time to discuss that in the next month or so, as we start reaching out to places and starting to build our race list for the year. Right now we have Bromley for sure.
So Keith, in order for next steps, would you want to see like the insurance policy that the ranch has, or kind of what would be the kind of the next step to keep that ball moving and ball rolling?
I definitely want to at least chat with the primary horse contact there, so we could actually start looking at the insurance, because the insurance part, it's really just a matter of making sure that the policy is going to cover what they do, and then reaching out to our insurance and just, okay, what do we need to do? And with our new system in place, we're now doing a per event insurance, which we'll keep doing until we hit about 5 to 7 events. But then it's okay, maybe we get a full season again. But those individual insurances allow us to tweak it for different types of things. So we, ski touring for one. But it's making sure that we're covered, as well as the location that we're at is covered, in case something goes wrong. And to be straight honest, is knowing horses as I do, there's always an element of unknown, which is why the insurance part comes in. But it's, you're on tethers. As fast as you want to go, you can. Most people freak out and go kind of slow, except at Steamboat. I've seen that one. Those guys are nuts. But yeah, no, I think our next step is at least reaching out for insurance, and then from there, just kind of how would we. So Jeff Grady, what I'd love you to do is kind of put together kind of what you envision that event being under with some more detail.
Sure.
And then, don't worry so much about the days of the week, because that might be dictated more towards the second part, which is either race or camp or something, or a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a great idea. And with the ski joring thing, although we can, you keep it more of a festival concept, but I think having that competition side of things pretty good, because it's one of those things where people can go when they're ready, as opposed to a really heavy schedule, make it very light.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Sounds good. Yeah, we're still in the exploratory here too, but I'll go up and ride and meet with the ranch people, and well, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, the big one I'd say is ask them, what do they think it would look like? So any other thoughts, questions, not on that, but on anything else?
I think I'm good. I have to go run sound and do a little sound check in a few minutes at a venue, so I have to leave. But if there's anyone anything important to follow up, y'all have my email, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to take the recording and get it on to YouTube, so you can watch it if you wanted to, if there's more.
Okay, thanks everyone. Good to see you.
Cool. Good night, Jeff.
Bye.
Thanks for jumping on. Any other questions, thoughts?
I actually had one for Jeff. What is the time frame for like reaching out to mountains when you're thinking about thinking another event kind of thing? Like Bridger and Schweitzer as mountains that I'm pretty close with, and I just didn't know when you start to reach out to them, or I have people who I'm pretty close with on those mountains, so I can like just shoot them a text. But yeah, what's your time frame on that?
That's a great question. Normally, and Dad's smiling because I'm probably going to leverage him and his knowledge of when they start building calendars. So
Okay.
typically what happens is you have the World Cup calendar built first, and then you kind of trickle down from there. The last one, and you guys aren't part of Rims Row, but one of the last schedules is kind of the regional schedule that gets built. And I want to say that's sometime in August. Isn't that right, Dad?
So some of the preliminary schedules are already floating around. So but you're right, the bigger races go first. So it starts at, the World Cup starting and then trickling down. Tully normally ends up competing with the regional races. And that's the Rocky Mountain Ski Race officials that I work with. And so the local US Ski and Snowboard representative, she sends notices out to all of the different areas and polls them to find out what they're interested in holding. It's pretty much the same schedule every year with its variation on a theme. And then when we get into the fall timeline, that's when they try to really firm things up. There is in the Rocky region, I don't know about your region, but in Rocky, there is a tentative schedule right now. So they're talking about the race schedules. So it's never too early. If you know somebody at the areas, it's never too early to reach out to them and say, hey, we're thinking about some tele events. Keep us in mind as you're working things out. We end up having to, I keep saying we can get on most any mountain, but it's always in the holes. It's what's left over, because your big events take top priority, your World Cup FIS stuff, your NORAMs, the North America Canadian events take number 2, then the local FIS events, and then it goes in the regional events. Then it comes down to telemark, kind of in that order.
Okay, great. So is it okay if I just, even if it doesn't happen this coming year, like reach out to people at both those mountains and just be like, hey, this is happening. Here's some ideas we're floating around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. And keeping it open for future seasons is as important as anything else. It's a relationship, right? We've been going back to Eldora for a number of years. We know Matt Tomasco there. Dad has a great relationship with Matt Tomasco, and it's that relationship that kind of, hey, we're looking at doing nationals, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And you can start having those conversations. Hey, we're thinking about maybe a training event or something else that may work for that. But that relationship is super important to build, and reaching out to them for that.
Yeah, because Bridger, I know most of the coaching staff and the people who run the race program, so I don't think we'd have a problem. And Schweitzer, I grew up there, so
nice.
I'm pretty confident with those. But yeah,
definitely good places to start.
Cool, thanks, guys.
Tony Nunikoven at Bridger? Have you heard that name?
I don't know that one. No.
I knew that's where you're going, Dad. Is he still doing it?
Well, Tony was the director of the club when Jeff started skiing in Steamboat.
Okay.
He's the one that got me into ski officiating 22 years ago. He ran the Bridger race program for a long time. I don't know if he's still involved with them or not. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
He lives up there, and he actually ran the Bridger race program for a while. But I
didn't hear that name. I was more connecting with Roger, and then he's the main guy right now. But yeah, cool.
Nice. Cool. All right. If anybody has anything else, we can add that in, but it was really, the point of tonight was really just to kind of get our juices flowing so we can start moving forward. Before we add any more information, what I'd like to do, so to try to help Jason out, because the hardest thing we need to do is we also need to pay for things. And so that's where Jason comes in. There has been some request from Jason. If there's any chance we can switch from a midweek night to a Sunday night. I know that's harder for some, but I was thinking scheduling a next meeting at near the end of August, the 20th of August. Take a look at it. It's far enough out. I'm booking way out, since it doesn't really matter, but just think about it. And what I'll do is I'll shoot everybody an email and we'll see if everybody likes that date. I know that works. The 13th doesn't work for Jason. But his big issue, so he went from a very consistent schedule to, where he has a known income coming in as a flight attendant, to now the boat captain thing, which is very haphazard. And so the only night they don't have any business for the tourism type of thing that he does is Sunday night. And so every other night he needs to make himself available. Because he's like a ski instructor, he only earns money when he's on the boat.
Sunday night's fine with me.
Yeah.
Works for
And
me.
I figure, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, and if you guys want me there, let me know. Definitely happy to show up. But yeah, if you guys do need me, or Farley, if you've got specific questions, if you don't have my phone number, let me know, and I can get that to you. Otherwise, I'm sure a couple of other people on this call probably have my phone number as my best guess. Maybe my dad or Sarah Carley. I think even Keith might know how to work his flip phone to get you my number, but one of those guys can get you my number. /K.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
I'm gonna glue your hands to a horse.
No. Glue my hands to the rope that's attached to the horse, and then I'll be riding away. Skiing away.
To the horse. Yeah, no, this is why I was kind of hoping Devin was gonna be on. But I wanted Jeff to come on just so if Farley had any questions, or Jeff Grady had any questions, we could answer that, and then you guys could reach out to each other if there's any questions. So there's a soft transition. I don't have that same issue with Sarah Carley.
Not
Since
going anywhere.
You guys are already glued together.
But I'm making it easier for her, so she only has to help when she has time. And although Devin's been the secretary for a while, apparently he didn't get off the call, so that's kind of a bummer. But we'll kind of make it as we go here. I have nothing else. I just wanted to have this call, and what I'll do is, as we aim for the middle end of March, potentially August 20th, we will get some real information put down, start talking about sponsorship, and we'll clearly have an athlete list by then. For instance, Matt Tomasco is on the Masters team, confirmed, excited. He was the first person to send in his packet. So
He actually emailed me and he said, Jeff, what the heck is this? I think it's spam. And so I had to say, no, not really. We really like your energy and we want you to be part of this cool team. Do you want to join? Then he was all about it. So,
he was wicked. And I tried to do in the initial line there, the whatever the hell that thing's called, so he knew it wasn't spam. But who knows? Well, because the only thing I don't have all I have is Matt's work email. And so they always, new stuff always goes to spam with ski areas.
Sure.
But nope, that's all I got.
Cool.
I know Sarah Godek's in the car, but I'll do a social media plug for her to keep sending content to her or to me. And also, if y'all didn't see her email from earlier, Farley, Tabby, and I guess Jeff has already jumped off the call. But if you could send her a recent photo for a board social media introducing the new board type post.
Actually, I sent off a couple of photos today. I don't have any pictures of me. I'm going to make Keith stand outside of his truck at lunch and take a picture of me.
Love it. Love it. All right. Just because she's still driving, desperately trying to get somewhere in the Midwest before it gets dark out.
The phone is still connected.
Yep.
I'm still here. I just have had my
Nothing
hands
to
on the
say.
wheel. That's all.
No, that's good. We appreciate that.
But
So-
if you don't send me a picture, I will just post whatever I think is good.
I sent.
Nice.
I'm picturing Jeff Grady Photoshop behind a horse in some manner.
I'm thinking Ken.
I
Uh,
really am about this life. Like I feel like if we have this ski joring, maybe we can get my dad behind a horse.
Well, we can get him behind the horse, but it's still open to debate whether he's going to get dragged down the road or not.
Yeah,
Sure,
right.
that's true.
We just need
Think
the
all those
photo to look
cowboys will
like-
get upset if I ask for an English saddle.
You're not going to be allowed to ride, I don't think.
I,
At
And
least
if you need an English saddle, I can get one from my mom.
oh, I know.
in Steamboat, the key to success is picking the horse and the rider, because we've got some fast horses and fast riders. So the trick is to pick the fast horse
Well, that's if you want to win.
if you want to win. Now, staying alive, that's a different priority. So
Ken, you and I'm thinking I want the near death old horse.
I want the sway back pony.
So I will say one of the things we are doing is we're collecting all the information we need for the website to update it. Chris, who owns the website and the service, he is going to do a kind of a quick update for us and get us caught up, and then we'll take it over again. Just because there's some stuff in there that some of it's way old, some of it's from last year, but there's just bits and pieces, and we're going to go through and just tweak that, get that up to speed. But that's all I've got.
Just a quick touch, looking at Eastern events, other than, of course, Bromley, do we have anything lined up for Gunstock or?
We're in the works.
Any-
It's still going to be that midweek that we're talking about.
Mhm.
It's just with the ski areas evolving, the weekends in the East, it seems like more and more of the events are going towards the weekdays.
Well, the reason I ask is I was texting back and forth all day with somebody from Gunstock who was just asking, about the weather and the flooding and this and that. And he was involved with Gunstock for quite a few years. And I know that some of our further east than me, have some good connections, but in the course of the conversation, I started to wind him up about tele stuff. So, I think that may work out. If we can, I don't remember who it was who had the connection there.
Have a good night, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
You mean at Gunstock?
Yeah,
That's Sarah. Sarah
Okay.
Kodak. She's
Mhm.
kind of our spear, our point
Great.
person on that one.
excellent.
And I figure we'll go into detail. We'll go into detail on hopefully on August 20th.
Sounds good. Yeah, when we do go into detail, I think we'll be able to get a weekend at Butternut. They're not going to be able to confirm until October, but
Yeah.
it sounds like we'll be able to do a Saturday, Sunday sometime in late January.
And I still want to talk to my people at Hermitage to see if we could maybe do a Friday training day.
I'm in talks with the head over there. We're working on it.
Okay, great.
They've got to wait until there's a big board meeting coming.
Yeah, the big meeting is end of the summer, so. Mhm.
Yeah. But anyway, what we'll do is if you do have details that the middle of August, just feel free to reach out to me, whether it be phone, text, or email. Just in case, I'll make sure everybody has all that contact information for me. We'll go from there.
Sounds good.
That's it.
Right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank
stop
you
it real
all.
quick once I figure out where to push.